Hello, I'm Ellie, and welcome to my channel, Ellie on Wheels. I've lived in vintage Jeeps and vintage vans during the last 8 years of my nomad life in British Columbia, Canada. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you down the road. Good morning. So I am in online school for 3 days in a virtual Blackboard situation with others in a van life, and I'm just trying to make it work. So it's been 6 weeks of school, and I'm in that 3-day online virtual class. So I came into Tim Hortons to get a sandwich, a hot sandwich. Like, I have soup and other things in the van, but we're gonna let these guys come in here. Hello, excuse me. Hello, excuse me. Thank you, sir. So nice of you. So he lets me out. That was nice. Yeah, so I'm at this little mall. It's the last week in November and it's raining. It's very cold. Yeah. It's not the best, but it's okay. I'm using some internet at a Starbucks across from me over there, and the van's over there, but I just thought I'd show you the mini mall. It's a nice little mall. There's a Tim Hortons here. I thought about sleeping here tonight and just sitting in that parking spot I'm in where I'm using the internet, but yeah, I don't think I'll do that because they probably wouldn't like it that I'm sitting there all day using internet. And it's also, so we'll talk about it. It's a private parking lot. You can't sleep in any private parking lots. I live in the Lower Mainland near Vancouver, British Columbia here. Anywhere down here, you can't park overnight in a parking lot. They're privately owned, but you can park on the street if you can get away with it, because actually there's laws that you can't even sleep in any vehicle in Surrey, BC, and some places you can. Just trying not to get my plate there. It's new for me to have to think about stuff like that, right? So we're gonna hop in the van here. I'm situated right across from the drive-through window, which is kind of a bummer, but there's nothing I can do. Yeah, so you can't sleep in a parking lot. Let's hop in the van. I'm freezing. My seat's taped up. I had to take my seat cover off for a reason. Well, we can talk about that at a later time. Yeah, so now we're back in the van, and it's cold and it's rainy, and I'm using their Wi-Fi. So I'm just gonna continue on doing my schoolwork. I got everything all over the place. So here's a hot sandwich. I'm gonna make some soup for that. And I went into Starbucks and I said thank you for the Wi-Fi, and I bought a banana bread. So that's $10 I just spent that I would have not wanted to spend, but I think it was good, you know, for relationship purposes. Hey, thank you for letting me sit on my MacBook all day here. You know, I'd really like to have a kitchen and get rid of this stuff today, but that's not going to happen. I have 3 days of online school, so let's just keep doing school, and then we can work on a kitchen for that area later. There's my garbage from last night from my meals, and my stove's over there. Maybe I'm gonna fire it up and have some hot soup. And I have some exercises and journaling to do, and he's gonna see that we're doing that work, and we're back in class 2 hours from now. So I got about 2 hours off to do 2 modules, 2 journals, and I'm in training at a Justice Institute, and I'm just trying to make it happen as a van lifer. Like, it's pretty rough sometimes. I don't have a quiet place. So I'll tell you what just happened. There's Work BC locations all throughout British Columbia. In a lot of towns, they have a location where you can go for resume building, or, you know, use the computers for job searches. You can print your resume out, all kinds of things, right? So I called my local office here and I left a voicemail Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days ago. So I'm already in school since 9 o'clock in the morning and it's almost 11. And I asked her 5 days ago, hey, would you mind helping me? Would you mind facilitating maybe, here, let's turn you around. You can see me with no makeup. Because I literally rolled out of my bed in my van. I rolled out of the bed at 8:10. Got 2 McDonald's coffees that were really cheap for $1.30 each. I don't have any makeup on. I haven't had any breakfast and it's almost 11. And I rolled up to the Starbucks where it's really close to park and have their Wi-Fi. And if I'd have waited for Work BC to give me an answer, I would be a no-show in class today. Like sometimes in van life, you got to think out of the box and you have to do it quickly. You can't depend on other people. You can depend on yourself, right? I depend on myself for food, shelter, and my health. I take care of myself. I don't put the stuff that's valuable to me in life, to health and happiness, I don't put in anyone else's hands, like housing. If I didn't like where I was living or my landlord was treating me bad, or a lot of places have mold here and people will put up with that because they can't get new housing. So I don't put housing in other people's hands. So my housing is clean and warm and private and quiet. It's hard to be in a van, but it's a lot of good things because I took housing into my own hands. So I took education into my own hands lately. I've done 6 weeks of online assignments. I've done a lot of homework. My grade is almost 85%. And I'm in the last 3 days of online school, and my local office that has private rooms with computers and it's warm, she called me 5 days later to tell me I was not going to get any help. I just answered this phone. It said Work BC. I clicked hello and she said, yeah, I'm the manager. And so this is 5 days after I left a voicemail, right? Sorry, I can't help you. She listened to my need. I told her I was cold. I told her that actually I couldn't afford the computer I'm working on right now. I had to charge it to a credit card and I have no income and I'm between jobs because I gave my notice at a job 4 weeks ago to focus on my school. I could not work that job in 3 different locations and frontline shelters and housing programs, and it was 2 hours away from here near the Fraser Canyon where it was very cold and very small, no resources. The town might have 5,000 people, so I wasn't getting free internet in front of a Starbucks till 9 or 10 at night. So I'm going to stop talking to you and maybe warm up a little bit. I'm really cold. My van's pretty damp. I need to run it for a while and have a sandwich. My hot sandwich is probably pretty chilly. Oh, it's a little bit warm. Oh, I feel like putting it in my coat. Anyway, so that's how you start school when you have no one to facilitate a place for you to be in a warm little office and you need to be online in a virtual classroom for a few days. You can pull up to a Starbucks very close to the building. Certain Starbucks you can pull up close and you can use their Wi-Fi all day. So that's my solution. I got to let you go. I have 2 hours of online work to do that he's going to check in 2 hours, and I'm going to click back into the class and be a part of that in 2 hours, and I need to get that work done and eat. Maybe walk around the van a little bit, stretch my legs, but I just wanted to update you and to give you hope. So you might face a lot of no's in life. No, you can't park here in your van. No, we can't accommodate you for school. Think out of the box. If you need to, touch base with somebody and get their fresh eyes on your problem, and maybe somebody will think of something that you haven't thought of yet. But be hopeful and don't take no for an answer and keep on moving towards your goals. You'll do really well in life. Don't get discouraged. Enjoy your van life out there, even on a rainy day in British Columbia. Because I will show you it's pretty horrible out there. So I will let you go for now. It was good talking to you, and we'll see you later. Listen to the rain just pounding my fan. So I've got some soup on because I'm on a school break. So we're gonna have some lunch. But I did cheat a little and get that Tim Hortons craveable sandwich. Let's put the max air up. It's nice to have a vent that works in the rain here in Vancouver. You just wouldn't be able to survive. Your van would get super moldy if you didn't have a max air vent or a cover on your vent. But it just feels like I'm getting overcome by propane a little bit. I got some chicken soup going on here, chicken noodle, to go with my sandwich that I bought because I didn't have any sandwich stuff. Yeah, so that's how you do it. I'm in school today. I'm just gonna have some hot soup because it's freezing and raining outside. Like, let's look out the back. I have these up because there's a drive-through window. Yeah, it's a bit steamy out there. Oh, it's nasty out there, right? It's frowny face. It's not very nice outside. But it's kind of warm and cozy in here, right? Yeah. It smells like chicken noodle soup and a roast beef sandwich. You know, you gotta make the best of it. So we're just making some lunch here. Okay, so it's midday and I've been in this van since 10 o'clock last night. I've probably been in this van almost 14 hours, sleeping and then doing school, my first half of the school. My windows are getting really foggy, but we're gonna jump out here and get rid of the garbage. We took a little break. It's pretty nasty and wet out there. My door's dripping. It's very rainy. Let's get on some shoes. I do have some rain boots. I should put those on. So we're just gonna get rid of our garbage a little bit because that's a troublesome thing when you're in a van. So let's grab it and get going. For sure I have the keys. Always check you have the keys. Okay, let's close the van. Go for a little walk, stretch your legs when you're in a van. Like I said, oh, look at the day, right? Squish, squish. Like, I'm in the van 14 hours here. Slept 8 hours. I'm in school. No end in sight. 4 more hours, afternoon. 2 more days tomorrow. But then I'm done. And I'm really happy. Right? Really happy if I can achieve it. Oh, horrible day. Just pouring rain. Used to be a garbage can outside of that Shoppers Drug Mart. Doesn't seem to be there anymore. No garbage cans. No parking. This corner's flooded. Can't walk across there. Yeah, I'm probably walking around looking for a garbage can that there isn't one. I see one. Oh, but then that's a thing. So they gate all their garbage cans. Let these guys go by. There's 2 industrial garbage cans right there, right? But there's a fence around them. They're open too, but I just can't get to them. So I'm literally gonna walk right up with my garbage, walking it around. And we're gonna pop it in. Yeah, there are 2 garbage cans here. So I just wanted to take a quick video here about the slides we're going through right now. I can't really scan to the bottom because you'll see the instructor's name and everything is private and confidential. But, you know, I'm going through school. We've had the whole morning here. I took a lunchtime break and now we're in for the afternoon session. I am still in front of this Starbucks. I'm still going to school and I'm in the van. So that's the way you do it. I got some water. There's all my homework handouts that I had to print out last night, everything I had to study for today. Sorry, I'm in bylaw officer training at the Justice Institute. And there's just some of the exercise that we were just doing now. We were like going through 3 or 4 scenarios. Maybe give a guy a parking ticket and he yells at you and tells you he has no money. The second scenario is maybe somebody that the neighbors have called them in and said that they have some horrible yard and a bunch of hoarding stuff, and they're like, why is it my yard? Why are you coming here? So like, we're just talking about communication skills right now, but I gotta let you go and click the guy's voice back on and participate in school. I'll talk to you later. Hey, so we're at Planet Fitness here. Whew, did a whole day at school and it's so wet, all day wet in the van. So I'm gonna make a real concerted effort here after I have some dinner and a shower. So this is dinner, but I'm gonna get out of the van for quite a few hours tonight. It's about 6 o'clock. I've been in the van for 8 hours sleeping the night before, and then I woke up and attended an online class, and I was cuddled up to a Starbucks all day to use their internet because, quite frankly, I'm pretty shocked there is not one place I could have completed any of that school homework. And an online class, like the whole teacher heard me, 30 other students could hear me. It had to be somewhere quiet, you know? And I asked a few places around town, hey, could you help me? Do you have a quiet room in your library? Or do you have a quiet room even in the institution where I'm taking the course? And they're like, no, we don't have a separate room for you. And the only place that did have separate rooms really didn't want to accommodate me at all. So I think I addressed that in one of my videos. So pretty much this is the way it is for now. We're going to have some quick basmati rice and some ham and some salad, and then we are going to take the garbage out every time it's full hanging on the door, and we're going to go into Planet Fitness and get hot and soapy. So I'm going to let you guys go for now. So wet, so much condensation all the time. Just look at it right now. Oh, it's just pouring. Talk at you later, I'm hungry. I'm pretty excited to come over here and relax and have dinner. That's a good salad, some nice ham and basmati rice. Yeah, I thought I might just sit here and chat to you a little bit while I have dinner. I don't do that too often. Be nice to have some company. Know that somebody's listening, and I'll tell you a little bit about my day and a little bit about the experience I had today with education while being in a van. So there was no internet for me in a quiet room. I could either get internet in a Starbucks in a noisy main room of a library, or I could be cold outside and try and access internet from my dash really close to a place. The Wi-Fi at McDonald's here in the Fraser Valley is notoriously horrible. There's like 5 bars on the Wi-Fi sign, and it's like the first bottom little dot, maybe the second one out of 5. And you'll drop the signal all the time. And McDonald's is a very busy place all day. A lot of our unhoused people that don't have vans and cars to live in, they'll hang around at McDonald's, and sometimes they'll come right up to my window quite often. 2 out of 3 nights when I'm downloading stuff on my Google tablet to watch later, sorry, the light went out. They'll say, hey, do you have some money? Can I have a coffee? Which is like perfectly okay, because I totally get it. They're freezing outside. And likewise, excuse me, I'm going to turn on the light for you. I'm cold and wet in a van, you know? I get it. So I don't fault them for coming over. I don't have a problem with people coming up to my window and wanting to talk to me and connect or ask me even for one of their basic needs, as long as they're not rude, ignorant, threatening me or anything like that. I quite welcome that. You know, it's pretty tough to be outside, be by yourself. I've never lived outside by myself. I've been outside in a vehicle, but I've had, you know, the safety and the shelter of some kind of vintage van around me or vintage Jeep. So I feel pretty blessed most of the time, and I don't complain. But tune in January and I'll complain. Pretty sure I'll be complaining then. So I'm just chopping up my little tomatoes here. We're gonna use some balsamic. I would like to get an expensive bottle of olive oil, but it's just not in my budget right now, and some balsamic vinegar and do that myself. But I just bought some $3 salad dressing because that's what my budget is right now. So that's that. So yeah, I wanted to say something about today because toot toot, woot woot, like I feel very accomplished. I was facing a lot of obstacles to pay for the course. I worked while I started the course. The first 3 of the 6 weeks I was working at 3 different locations in social housing and shelters far from here. And it was quite apparent to me as we were going through the course that I really needed to focus on that, because it supplements a bachelor's degree that I also gave up 4.5 years of my life for in my 50s. So it's a supplementary to something I've already been heavily invested in my lifetime. So I'm not getting any younger, and I really want a really good job that pays good money for the last 5 years of my working career, because the other day was the 22nd of November, and I will be 60 6 months from now, on May 22nd, 2026. I find that quite shocking and exciting all at the same time. So I gave my notice at my job and I immersed myself in my studies, and I came back here to the Lower Mainland because I was out in the Fraser Canyon, about 2 hours from here. And I concentrated on school. I'm very broke right now. I'm eating a cheap piece of ham and some rice and some salad, and there's enough of the same food to eat for another 2 days, but my ice is not going to last that long. It's going to cost me another $3 for ice, because every day or two I have to put at least 1 or 2 bags of ice in there. Sorry, I was really hungry. You may hear something. You probably hear the whining of my heater. I didn't think about that before I clicked on the video. Let's put my nice dinner down for a minute. So I was lucky that I had a little bit of space on a credit card. I didn't have a credit card for over 50 years in my life. I had no credit, no money all my life. I started with a tiny credit card and I grew it from $500 to a better and better limit over time. I just would put daily groceries on it, and then I would pay that $30 off, and it got better, and then it would offer you another credit increase from $500 to $1,000. So I'm not trying to sell you on credit cards at all. I believe in cash, everything in cash in my life. If you ask my family, they would tell you that cash is king, and if you don't have the cash, don't buy it. You can live without it. I don't do impulse buys because I think to myself I didn't need it before I went in the store, so I probably don't need it now either. But it was really apparent to me. I've had 8 years out here, and I was very, very sick with a virus for 2 weeks. I just ended my medicine 3 days ago. So sick, coughed all night long, wet, cold van, and I've done that 3 times. 3 out of the 8 years I've been very sick in the fall. Last year I caught COVID and I was in the hospital for like 3 weeks. It was pretty bad. No one would even come into my room. They would dress in like full suit and mask, and then they would hold my food at the end of the doorway. I wasn't even allowed out of my room except for 1 hour a day. I could go out recreation outside, and I was supposed to go right outside the hospital and then come right back in. So it felt like jail, so I left. So anyways, I financed a computer for my school, the $2,000 course for the school, and $3,000 for a German heater because I needed it. I cannot plumb in a German heater and Airtronic myself. They're $1,500 plus tax, so about $1,850, and I paid them, I think, $1,500 for the install. 10-hour day, 2 men, big money. So it's lovely. My feet were freezing as I came in this van to eat my dinner because I was outside. I mean, just look at it out there. It's incredible. And the condensation inside the van from cooking and having to keep the window open a little bit because it's going to gas me and using my... So I had to put the heater in, so here it is. And I love it. And we're going to do a whole video on this Airtronic that's blowing 22 degrees right now. And it's dark down there, so we'll do that some other time. But like, yeah, there's the Easy Pro thermostat and control system there. But that I'll move later, because that's only a temporary wall and that's only there temporarily. But I had to get through winter and I needed heating. So sorry for the buzzing. I am pretty sure you hear it. It'll probably shut off in like 5 minutes. You can set it for lots of things, and I only have it set to maybe 17 minutes right now. Just enough to warm up the van, maybe dry out the boards. They say Thinsulate doesn't absorb moisture, and that's what I used for insulation, so I'm hoping that'll work out well. But let's dish up some of this ham and some of this rice. Pretty nice dinner. After 8 hours sleeping in a van, and then 8 hours on a course in front of a Starbucks, you know, that's embarrassing, you know? There I am right in front of the window, a drive-through window, literally 40 feet from them, and cars pulling up right alongside the front of my van all day to get stuff from Starbucks, and they're looking at me with my computer busted out, and I went inside, I got a coffee, because it's nice to do that, you know, and they know I'm out there using the internet, and I have 2 more days to go. And in the middle of the day, you'll see the video, you know, someone called 5 days after I left them a message and said, hey, no, we can't help you at all. And that's just, it really burned me. My attitude was, my tone in that video was probably pretty spicy, because I wasn't very happy with that news. That's the way it goes. Not everybody will want to help you. Figure it out and do it anyway. If it's humanly possible. So, I just wanted to talk to you for a minute. Sit down and have a meal and tell you how accomplished I feel today, that I knocked off an 8-hour day of virtual classroom time and did all the assignments. He gave us 3 different breaks during the 8 hours and made us do homework for like an hour of everything he just taught us. Well, here's some homework. And then you submit it, and then you join the classroom again. We did that like 3 times. 2 more days. Can't wait. Can't wait to try and find a job in this new field where I can help people, be a good community member, maybe make some good money, maybe meet some new people, get out of the van. You know, I miss having work colleagues when I'm in a van. I spend a great deal of time, over half of my van life, I didn't work. Something happened where I couldn't work for over 5 years and lived on a very meager income in cars. 3 Jeeps and a couple vans. So yeah, I feel so blessed today, but I sure have to pay off that credit, right? I don't live on credit. I don't use credit. I try not to sweat and roll around and think about it all night, because that's not productive. So you just have to believe it's going to work out and be disciplined and pay it right off, right? That's the plan. That's the hope. I owe over $7,500 right now. I still get a little bit of a disability. I get $820 a month right now. I can tell you, in a van, my insurance is $100, and gas and a little V8 in this express van. I don't really go that far. I'm just running around town. My gas is easily $400 a month. Then you put a cell phone and storage on that. Boom. No food, nothing. 800's already gone. This light's annoying, right? I haven't had time, or I haven't gone to look for lights. I don't think about puck lights or anything like that right now. Because these walls aren't permanent, and neither is the ceiling. I'd like to put some pine slats up there, but they have to be varnished so they don't go moldy. And holes drilled in for lights and wiring. I'm not ready. I need to just try and attend to the basics. Keep warm, keep well fed, all winter in the van. So yeah, I turned the light off and on 3 times, so we're gonna do that for a while, because that's necessity. You know, you just work with what you have when you're in a van, right? And today, I worked with what I had. I did school all day, right in front of everybody going by my car, but right now I feel really accomplished and proud of myself, and I'm just here to tell you, you can do it too. If you're in a van for a goal, or a van to survive because your income is limited and you don't have housing, you can do it. I know you can. If you're a student and you're saving on tuition and living in a van, I sold a guy about 2 years ago. I sold him a blue Ford, and he was taking school, and he was from Germany, and he came here. So he was planning on living in that van, and it had no heating and no kitchen, but it had some cupboards, and it was a tall conversion van. So he was going to live in that van outside of his other student friend's house on that street in front of his buddy's house. So I don't have a buddy, 8 years. I don't have somebody to go and hang out at their place the odd days, or hang out in their driveway when I'm sick. So that was probably pretty good for him. So I'm going to let you go for now. I'm going to concentrate more on chewing my food than talking to you, and I hope you guys have a really good night. I'm gonna go into Planet Fitness and get a hot soapy shower after I eat my food, and just get out of the van. Maybe I'll walk around Valley Village. I might even drive the half an hour to Coquitlam and go to IKEA just to walk around, because I really need to get out of the van and stretch my muscles, So have a good one, and we will talk to you tomorrow. And for now, I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. See you later.
Hi, may I help you?
Hi, can I have a large hot water, please?
Anything else?
No, not for now, thank you.
Drive it, please.
Thank you. Here's the quarter for you.
Thank you.
Whoa, you're gonna spill it. You got it? Okay.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. I don't know if you know the meaning or the significance of this little video, but I'm gonna close the night with that little bit there. Park over here for a minute. Just pouring rain. Just pouring out there. Look at it. Everything is wet. Everything. Turn the lights off. Turn the fan off. Save some gas, because you know, van life is expensive. Every life is expensive, right? So let's turn that inside light on, because we all know how you love that. Well, that's the way it's going to be until I get some kind of lighting put up in my van, but that's what it is for now. So I just thought actually I would close the night off and say goodnight to you here and tell you just how much I appreciate you guys. So this video, I'm going to actually go back to the Starbucks where I was in school in front of there all day, and I'm really hoping that it's a different shift. Sorry, I just want to get my coat off. I'm nice and warm from a hot shower in Planet Fitness. Really nice to be warm. Get my hair out of any kind of stuff. It's nice to hang out and just relax. So what that was I go through Tim Hortons or McDonald's at the end of the night, and I get a large hot water. McDonald's, it's free entirely, and Tim Hortons, it'll cost you 25 cents a quarter. There in Canada, they'll charge you most of the Tim Hortons, if not all of them, for the hot water, but that's okay. It's the cost of the cup, it's the cost of doing business. And I just saved $1.50 to $2.50, $3.50, depending on where I would go. So I will take that there. I will grab some really nice honeybush tea. And I'm so excited for this. So I treated myself to a mug the other day, because I was using my favorite lately, my vintage wolf cup, but it's pretty small, this 1996 cup. I just love the wolves on it, right? Gray wolves. But I needed something that was larger, because when I do a pour over in the morning, I would have to pour over 1 cup of coffee, and it wasn't quite enough to satisfy me. Then I would have to start the stove again and boil some more water and make another pour over. So I didn't want to have to start the stove 2 times and create more condensation, and I wanted more coffee. So I got a nice big round bottom flat, you know, heavy on the bottom cup, because if you get something like a pedestal, imagine like a wine glass, it'll tip over in your van and everything will be wet and horrible. So it had to be something pretty sturdy. The top it goes narrow, so it's going to hold the heat better. And I'm going to have 1 big satisfying mug of coffee in the mornings now, and only start the stove 1 time for 1 big cup of coffee. But today we're going to enjoy some orange tea. I have a lemon and some ginger and Peace River honey from Alberta I'm going to add to that. So let's do that. There's a lemon. Let's give it a rinse. Because that lemon came from far away. So it's always good to rinse your vegetables if you can. That is a real issue when you're in van life. Like, how do you do that, right? When you don't have water. 8 years, I never had a 20-liter water with a $10 USB pump and a bucket. I never even had something like that. I used to get 4 liters of water, like a couple gallons, if you're in the US, a couple gallon big water, and I would just splash it on my food. And I would pull up to a curb at night and splash it on my hands and off the curb and try and wash my hands and brush my teeth, and it was pretty hard, actually. So let's have some lemon in this tea. Sorry, I'm yelling at you. Maybe some ginger. All right, get a nice piece of ginger root out of here. I'm not going to rinse that off. because it'll stay wet for quite some time. So we'll just knock off the end of it there. We'll put in a couple generous slices of ginger in this big cup. Wow, I'm so excited for this cup, really. I know, you are too. Yeah, so this is how you save the money, right? And in this box over here, I've got a nice jar of Peace River honey. So shout out to Peace River honey. If you ever want to sponsor my YouTube, my van life, you can send me all the Peace River honey you want. They have clear and they have creamy, and it is all unpasteurized. It's beautiful honey. It's a little pricey, Peace River honey, but you are worth it, and I'm glad to pay it. So let's get a spoon. Or something like a spoon. And I will tell you too, every time I go into a Save On Foods, a Safeway, IGA, hot dog stand, anything that has throwaway disposable utensils, preferably wooden ones, not plastic, because then you can cook with them without melting horrible plastic in your food, right? That's not very good for you. So I'll grab all the utensils I possibly can. Oh, look at that. That's satisfying and warm. You know, I still have half a cup of water if I want to do something with that. So I go and get all the free utensils I possibly can. When I'm inside of a store at the deli section, I'll just walk by, take 2 or 3 forks with me. Wow, look at this honey. It's amazing. I wonder if you could see it in this horribly lit van. Spring. You gotta hang in till spring. Then we will have some lighting, some better walls, maybe even a cabinet or 2 would be nice. But I am feeling blessed today, so blessed. I just wanted to come out of Planet Fitness and check in with you and thank you for everything. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you get some sort of wisdom out of it. You can ask me anything in the comments below. I'll be happy to help you along with any of the topics related to van life, and I wish you the best this evening. Wow, that's super good. And that cost me 25 cents and my own nice tea bag and little slice of ginger and lemon. Good night, everyone. It was really good talking to you today. I felt some camaraderie, and I felt like I had to even up my game a little bit because I wanted to have good things to report to you today. At the last 3 days, I'm in final in university and finals here in a virtual classroom, like I mentioned before, with no internet and a van. That was challenging, and I got today over with. There's 2 more days before the end of the course in my final grade, and I'll be really excited to share that with you. I probably won't share day 2 at all with you, not much of day 3. Because maybe you don't want to learn conflict resolution and negotiation skills and law and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to take you along for the journey of the challenges of school and being in a wet van, steamy van, endless rain. How to make a cheap dinner when you owe a lot of money on credit for your course and your computer and such. But you know, there's always hope for tomorrow. I had a really good day. Thank you for watching, and good night. It was really nice talking to you, and I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my tea with my Peace River honey. Good night, everyone.